Well, again, this is very typical, just what I was explaining before, and that is that, as people first come into this, it's all about them, which is understandable. And so getting people to the point that there's more than just your personal self, that's a whole lot. Because, our awareness in this vehicle, it just takes a lot to learn to see beside it or whatever, because we have to deal with this vehicle. And so it's easy to make any decision at all, right or wrong, good or bad or whatever. So she has this experience with these individuals that, don't want her to deny the supposed God. Again, it's her decision, isn't it? Just like in her other experience, it's her decision. And yes, it's very confusing at first, and it takes a lot of years. It really takes years and years. And this is where I've seen so many people come and go. And this is why the Skypes are very important. Because sometimes you get an answer to your experience and, oh, it sounds good. Oh, I'm happy. But then you go back to your personal life, which you're living most of the time, and things happen. And it's like, well, why can't this be so? Or why can't that be so? I'm singing the NUUU. Why aren't things better? Or why don't I have a job or whatever? And so again, after a while, the personal self just thinks that, okay, well, this isn't working, got to try something else or do something else. And so again, the Skypes are very, very important to keep going. As you see, they do make some kind of sense, but then again, we're in creation, and this is not a perfect order of things, not at all. What basically is perfect is your intent and what you decide every moment. Me, when I hear these things, when you were first explaining this experience, and all of a sudden she says, and she says that, oh, this is religious and, etc., and it's just whatever. Well, my intent just goes more so targeted into the is, because I'm a risk taker and I'll take the risk. The heck with the personal life. It just automatically does it. I can just, it comes through the feelings of the body and whatever. It's automatic. Because the more people deny it, the more I'm fine. And that's just the personal self, but realistically, every person decides, so I don't care what people say. And so it's trying to find the people that will do it, that will really sincerely do it and are honorable. That is really a toughie. So as long as a person is still interested, the guides are there. But don't take advantage of it. Don't take it for granted, because it's not that. Even Paul said that. Nothing is taken for granted. Like the sun shining, it's precise. That's how real it is. And so very few people see it. So again, you constantly have to understand, children, we are like children here. Very, very important. You think you know something? You know nothing. That's real. Life knows what it is. And so we are struggling to more so become aware of it. And this is the great adventure. And so this is a real opportunity. But for me, I've set myself up. I don't care what is said, because I know what is real, and it's endless, and I can't prove it. In a way, I can't even prove it to myself. All I can do is just see and be. That's it. That's what it is. And compare it to creation and look at creation. What a mess. And anything you create, no matter how good it looks, it all works against you. It turns into a mess. It dissolves. It reformulates. It transforms, whatever, because it's creation. You have to really understand the two, so you have that comparison. So what are you going to do? You're going to take the risk into an unknown that you can't even consider, or are you going to stay with creation and just have to deal with all this nonsense all the time and unaware people that don't know what they're doing and don't care? Yeah, it's a whole lot to get people to see something more like the sun shining that's sincere. That's huge. So again, the experience is self-explanatory. She is the decider, isn't she? She really is. Are there gods? Well, you decide. This is what's happening. every moment, and it's just getting more real because the world is a dangerous place, and so everybody's given the opportunity to decide now. There's no more waiting. It's right now. Okay? That's real. So, trying to help everybody so that they're prepared, because as things happen in this world, you see what happens. Even little ideas take people away from the focus, and they've got nothing. Yeah, that's how subtle and real it is. So every time you show up here and others, it really helps a lot, because otherwise people don't get it because they need it every day. Just like you eat food and take vitamins, you need it every day, don't you? Yeah. And so this is more needed because it's your real awareness and being able to completely get through creation altogether. And that's huge. And it's going to take you the rest of your life. So that's why we're here doing this. There is always an advantage there if a person decides to take it on, but not everybody will, because they don't understand, they're afraid, or, again, their personal life is too important to them, and it doesn't matter how bad it gets here in the physical, most people will still cling to their personal life, is what it is, because of how they've been taught, and to, instead of getting through their fear. And we all have fear. It's not about the fear so much, it's understanding, because the fear that we have is a sensation. It's just an alarm system we have, okay? That's all it is. Just like if we have one in our car or our home or whatever, it's an alarm system that we can utilize, and sometimes the personal self is bothered, but we can take care of that end, even to the point to where the personal self no longer exists. But that's just terrific what you're saying there. And see, this, for you and your experience there, this opens a huge door, huge, all right? And so to, gracefully bring her around to something that makes sense, and it seems as though she's having the experience, and like Rumi's angel or whatever it is, many times the real guides know they will send somebody else, because if they appear or whatever, it may not be such, so they will send someone else, okay, that's more user-friendly, you might say, etc., and to see if the person will be prompted, because they are ready to take the next step, they just need help. And they don't know where they're going, of course. None of us do, because life is an endless business. You just have to take the risk and step into the unknown. And then as you do, with your real awareness, it will become known. But you have to take that risk. So first we go through the baby stages of creation and all the little things and ideas that have been created that we relate to, and eventually into the invisible unknown. And truly the silence is the answer when you can recognize it. So it all comes from there, which is here now. It's all in isness. So we're not really going anywhere, as it seems as though we're making motion and movement. It's really a recognition of something else added to our experience is really what it is. And this is the isness, which is so cool. We really don't have to move. Actually, the less we do, the more that it all is. This is what's so cool about it. And this is the hard part, that as people have become literalized, they're literalized to the sound good created ideas and creation. And yes, we've all been there, but only the risk taker, only those people that decide, well, I'm going to just, take the risk and, look to the real guidance to see if there is something more. And so that's where the real guidance comes in. If people are willing to have the guidance, the real guidance, then the guides can step up. Otherwise, they don't interfere, because each person has free will, and they just let them be, because that person has to decide. That's how life is. That's the freeness life is. So the freedom that people are chasing is an illusion, no such thing. It is because it is with your real awareness to recognize what life is, and that's huge.